So here we go. Ahab, instead of going to spend time, if he didn't know how to consult the God, the sovereign Lord and Master of Israel and Judah, he would have asked Jehoshaphat. But instead, he went to go and seek counsel of 400 prophets of Baal. And they told him, go, for God will surely give Ramoth Gilead into your hand. Go and fight for it. Go and fight them. Go! It's long overdue. No time to sit and think. No time to sit and strategize. No time to seek the real God who can see into the future for you. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. They did not. Let's go and invest in this. Yeah. The S&P 500 is up. So come on, buy, you go. The Nasdaq 100, you go. The Dow Jones, you rush. Oh, it's real estate. Everybody now become real estate. Go to be trained for real estate. Oh, it is car. Everybody now begin to have a car lot. Nobody goes to go and seek counsel of the Lord, the master and sovereign owner of the earth, who sees how tomorrow gonna look like with that business. You give money, you say the right thing to them. See, there are people who worship powers, who worship offices. Because somebody occupy office, they worship that person and they worship the office. And they have scriptures to back it up, which is totally a fallacy. And that's what these prophets of Baal were doing. Do you know that Ahab and Jezebel were feeding them? They give them big homes to live in, palaces. These prophets of Baal, they live in mansions. They have horses, they have lambs, they have everything. Therefore, whatever the king wanted to do, good. Nobody told him to do the right thing. They were not giving the king direction. That's why when punishment, as judgment keep coming, judgment will eventually come down to the real place where it's supposed to come, which is the church, and begin to wipe away the leaders because they deserve to be taken out. You'll go to a church, 99.5% of every church member there are poor and broke and struggling. And the leaders cannot teach them the way to wealth outside their paychecks. And all their paychecks goes into that mission. No business, nothing. They lose big. They become slaves to government, become slaves to states, become slaves to municipalities, become slaves to humans who own businesses, and they treat you like a piece of trash. Keep reading, because people don't want to tell you the truth. Go and do it, you'll be good. Many of you tell your children, go to college, it's the best thing to do. Yes, it is. For those who are college-oriented people, if college is going to strengthen their future, let them go. And then there are people who don't need college. What they need is handwork. Train them how to run a gas station and give them one of it for them to run. And see the money they will make for you. Train them how to repair a car, a mechanic, a plumber, a carpentry work, a pilot, handwork. And they'll be richer than those with academic brain. And we think everybody has to go to college because being a college graduate makes you look good. And many a times after college you realize that you don't know what to do or what to do with your certificate. And many a time they will bypass you, who is a first-class student, and they will go and give a position to a non-entity, to a knuckle and blockhead. And you'll be there. At the end, you will realize that it's not what you know, but it is who you know. How did that medical doctor who did not even, who was struggling to pass his tests, and I was his boss in college, how is he now the president of that hospital? How is he now running the shop? And now you're working under him. Cuckoo. Your morning is just coming. You are just waking up. Woo! Yes. That's what the roosters are saying. It's morning time. Cuckoo. And you will see the other one go, woo! We say yes. And you begin to regret everything. Because nobody told you that life is more than family names, cultural groups, money. That life is all of that plus more. And that more is where Jehoshaphat hit it. And that is what we call the spiritual, the supernatural aspect of the foundations of everything. Seek counsel of the Lord first. And Ahab went to seek counsel of the prophets of Baal first. I've seen people who come to me, they wanted to be this, they wanted to be that out there in the world. And I say, sit down. I say, you know that you don't come to waste my time. The person say yes. And you know that I don't talk to you out of respect for your office. He say yes. I talk to you because your future is what I'm interested in. He say yes. I say you are not going into that. He said, but why? But I deserve it. But I'm the next in line. I said, because it will destroy you. You are not prepared for it. You are not trained for it. And you are not ready to be prepared to enter into it. You are going to make a disgrace of yourself in it. Rather go into this. And you will have 7 times what you will have gone there to be a disgrace in. And he will say, yes, my Lord. Say, now you can work, you can go. You can now have my blessing. Next day, he get the other job. Within a month, he is the president of a bank. The other one, he will have fought for the next 10, 20 years to ever reach there. He's making more money than what he was looking for. Because people cannot see beyond what they can gain now. That's their problem. They can't see beyond it. Therefore, they want to kill for it. They want to fight for it. They want to die for it. So if I don't marry him, I will die. If I can marry her, my life would not be. Really? And yet, if that man dies tomorrow, you'll go and marry somebody else. And if that woman, something happened, she become disabled, you'll start regretting everything after helping out a few times. The stress and wear and tear of family life begin to come to you. You become hungry. You were told to wait until you are matured enough to handle stress. I carry a lot of stress. I've carried a lot of depression since I was a boy. I've carried a lot of pain and hurts. And I had something that was given to me for me to call. A name for me to call. A person for me to call. and an angel for me to work with. I carry so much pain. You have no idea. I carried so much depression and oppression. Myself, partners, people, alive and dead. I carried the gene and the history of so much people. That is not, but for what I was given, it would have killed me. When everyone I relied on in life all died off. You can imagine a little kid having strong depressions, and yet I suppress it because something the captain was telling me, follow me. Remember, I couldn't cry when my father left. 2 years after that, the day came that I always remember that it was today he died and so time. And I just broke down. Depression came over me. And suddenly, somebody walked right into my bedroom and said, this is the last time you'll ever indulge or allow it to indulge in you. You'll ever allow him, the Prince of Darkness, to use your past. I don't care how miserable it was. I need you. I need you. And he walked out. And that was the end. I became very strong. Next thing I knew, somebody was tightening my mind. You can hear the sound. Break, 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 break. You can hear the chain. Ching, 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 ching. And I became a brutal force. Since that day till today. Just one visit from heaven and everything changes for you. And you will no longer indulge in human emotions. Continue to read.
But Jehoshaphat asked, is there not a prophet of the Lord here?
Did you hear that?
Can inquire of?
You hear that? Jehoshaphat said, yes, I know that you've inquired of these prophets of Baal. So Jehoshaphat knew the difference. That the prophets of Baal were not the prophets of the living God, of the God of Judah, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They don't have the answer. A lot of the televangelists and pastors of small, medium-sized mega church, they don't have the answer. They are not seeking the Lord. They are not of the Lord. They are using God to make a living for themselves and their families. That's what it is. And the Almighty God, look at my hands up, knows that I know them. Because majority of them were fleeing from hunger. They're fleeing from poverty. Others from bankruptcy. I know them all. It cut across all races in the world. Beginning from America. The prophets of Baal are into church business for money, for power, for material resources. They can sell themselves to anybody who wants it. That's how the occult and witchcraft, that's how it operates. You want it, you get it. Why? Because their God is neutral. This one walks in, I want that person killed, bam. Another one walks in, I want this other person killed, bam. There's nothing like thinking and say, but why? Why? They don't ask no questions because the gods are neutral. Why? They don't like human beings in the first place. They wish all of us were dead, and I wish all of them are dead sooner. That's why sometimes when evil spirits are talking to me, I tell them, drop dead. They don't like it. I don't care. Say, idiot, you have no right to talk to me. I'm a captain. I'm a general of the army. Obey me! Bow the knee! It is when things happen that you will know who lives in you. Ha! Mary, is it not so? You've experienced that. It's when things happen, you will know who lives in you. Please, Mary and Samantha and Vivian, those who are taking charge, who are keeping the note, please write it down. It's when serious things happen in your life that you will know who is in you and what is in you. When serious things happen in your life, that's when we will know who is in you and what is in you. Write that powerful key for me. I need it. Vivian, I know you are doing your job. You are the mission secretary.
Yes, I am.
Jehoshaphat asked, is there no prophet of the God of Judah, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, of whose descendants I am? I might be doing business. I'm your in-law. I'm your son-in-law. My people are like your people. We have two different ways of approaching the same thing, but when it comes to certain things, we don't see eye to eye. Like what I'm talking about. Is there no prophet of the Lord? Not prophet of the Baal. See, there are two differences. Prophet of the Baal, B-A-A-L, and prophets of the Lord. And even when it comes to the prophets of the Lord, there are those who are called and then who go out to do their own thing. So you have those from God. I tell people that I am not a man of God. I am a man from God. Two big differences. One belongs to the house, one belongs to the field. I am of the house. They are of the field. Big differences. I'm speaking in codes. Feast of the Holy Ghost 2020. So those of the field, men and women of God, they are working on behalf of God. They are trying to do something for God. They are trying to represent God. I am of the house. I am from God. I'm not trying to represent God. I'm not trying to work for God. God is working for himself through me. Ooh-wee. 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 They are trying to do ministry, trying to do business. Ministry is trying to do me. Business is trying to do me. And that is the same thing with you. They are looking for Jesus. They are going to worship God. Worship is doing me. Jesus is doing me. Because he knows how frail I am. Woo! That's why they are struggling, and I am not. They are broke, cheap, weak. I'm not. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I'm rich. I dominate with passion, with skill, and with kindness. And I'm there for my people. Woo! So Jehoshaphat was saying, let's bring a prophet from heaven. Someone who lives on earth, but at the same time lives in heaven like I am. Somebody who cannot be bought. Way. Mary, how do we make that call? Way. Yep. Yep. When I see a witch, a real witch, I will sing them a song, whether at the airport or whether on the hotel lobby or whether at Walmart, at Mercy. If I sense immediately that that's a real witch, I will personally go to go and provoke them. The person has not told me that they are practicing witch, but I will know. I will just know. They know. When the dragons meet, they know. When the vampires meet, they know. You will see the person, immediately they see me, they will turn their back and they will go pretend to be shopping elsewhere and watching for me to get out of their aisle. Then they will come back to that aisle. And I will walk from my aisle towards them. Energy knows energy. And when I'm shopping and they are behind me or just a little bit distance from me because of the corona, and I will begin to sing. I will say something like, I will bring out my phone and I will pretend like I'm talking to Victoria. And I will say, Secretary, how are you? Do you have the work ready for me that I gave you to do? Then you will hear me make a statement like this. Bibidi babada buburu wah. Bibidi babada buburu woo. And once I say it, if you're a real witch, it's on. The person can't help it. Then they walk towards me. And they start talking to me because I've forced them to come. There are certain statements you make, whether a person who is a witch like it or not, they must come. Same thing with the vampires, the werewolf. They have their languages. And I know it. Bibidi babada bubudu. That's why people are afraid of owls, and I like owls. Even though they can use owls and pigeons and stuff for things, majority of those creatures, even though people can use pussycats, they can use cats for things. Pussycat, where have you been? Yeah, majority of them went to go and find a mate. They went to go and get food. But there are some few that are not. Every time a snake sees me, it runs. Why? Because they know that I know the two kinds of snakes. The real snake and the one that are not. Mermaids are the same thing. Aliens are the same thing. Angels are the same thing. They are the good ones, the bad ones. Excuse me, let me wipe my hands here. Let me bring the kitchen. Yeah. One of the women that likes me a lot, that comes to come and get information from me to go and practice her art. I once went to visit her with 3 friends of mine. Immediately we entered her house in Salt Lake City, Utah. She said, oh, you guys can sit down, sit down. Idika, sit down, let me go and get you something to drink. I know your favorite drink. I prepared your favorite food that you like to eat. She knows that I like Mediterranean food too. I say, no. let me go to your house. She said, you already in my house? Which house? I only live here. I live here. I don't have any other house. I said, I know, but I'm coming. That was my first time of going there. And I walked out from the rest of the boys were just astonished. They were astonished. They said, where is our house? This is our house. Dude, are you crazy? I said, yes, I am. And I walked into a wall. If you don't look very well, you will not know that that wall, there is a handle there. And I went to the wall right by the corner from the kitchen. Then the other side is the bedroom. If you don't look carefully, you will not know there is a door there. And I went and I opened the door. And she ran towards me. She said, woo, you knew that she is there. I said, yes, I do. And that's where the woman, the doll, the witch doll of the witch that the witch follows. See, every witch follows a witch. I hope you know that. And they both follows a particular demon. The demon that your witch follows is the one that you follow. Every witch has a witch. Every wizard has a wizard. Now you guys are learning something pretty, huh? So the witch that this witch follows, everyone, if you follow a particular witch, you will have his statue, either made as a doll. The real person, the face, everything, just as the person is naturally, and they will dress the person up. Like you have, what do we call that thing in the stores that they will dress men and women? They dress women's clothes. What do you call it? Mannequin, yes. So it's like a mannequin. It's the exact witch that she follows. So they will take the picture of that witch to somebody that does it, and they will dress the thing up. In fact, different, the clothes, the kind of clothes that the person wear will be bought. Exactly the clothes that is in the closet of the witch, wherever the witch is in the world. Those kind of clothes will be sent to the witch that this witch follows, or to the wizard that this wizard follows, and the person will bless them. That means their blessing means a demon enters into them. And then that person's, part of that person's soul and personality, I mean spirit and person, enters into the doll, into that mannequin, or that doll, or that statue of that person. It must be. If you don't have it, you can't operate right. And you must have a room for that thing with the clothing. So different festival will dictate the clothes you put on that thing. I mean, you see clothing in that little space. And that is where she goes to communicate with her witch, beyond phone calls or video chatting. So I went there and I said, so here you are. And she came and she stood outside the door and looked at me as I went in, and I was touching different objects, like the object that your witch sent to you is in that house. It's not where people can see it, because those are sacred. And I went and I was touching them. And I went and I placed my hand around the thing. And I said, so here you are. That was all I said. So here you are. You think you can hide from me? So you are her witch. And instantly, you can hear a mind transfer, energy transfer. Yes, I am. I live here too. You can imagine how many places one witch can reside, can be, depending on how many disciples and students. So when I tell you, keep a picture of me in your car, keep something about me in your home, I'm not joking. Jesus said, do this in memory of me. Have something about me with you. consecrated and kept. Everything has a signs and symbol that represent it. So she said, now you know everything about it. I said, yes, I do. And you know that I wasn't joking. I said, I already know. And the other men were sitting, and they were already eating. They didn't know what was going on here. If one is in that house want to kill them, it will just take them one after the other. They will go out and be having sickness, cancer, problem, divorces. They have no idea. Sitting down there, eating and filling their big old bellies. And I'm here taking care of business. And why do you think that I go first to look for those things? Is to neutralize them first. I go to go and paralyze them, neutralize them. And the three of them were sitting down eating. They didn't even pray over their food. Oh, Jesus Christ, have mercy. This is how people die. They are so desperate to chew chicken, to eat, drink wine, drink beer. They've seen people are so desperate. And I've gone to go and take care of business with her witch. Like, you know, those things are very jealous. Those things are very jealous. If you didn't know it, know it. They are very jealous spirit. Why do you come in here? And they will want to take you out that you have no business with their witch. You know? Not just with their witch, but also with their bee. You know what I mean by that. Don't you all know? B-I-T-C-H. I'm not going to say it. They'll tell you what business do you have to do with their bees. In the world of darkness, they don't try to be nice and they say it raw. They'll tell you what business do you have to do with their bees and with their W, with their witch. And here we are trying to be nice. And you go out of there, you don't know that you've carried a curse. A demon has been asked to follow you because you have no business being there in the first place. Is there no prophet of the Lord? Keep reading.
Yes, it says, the king of Israel answered Jehoshaphat, there is still one man through whom we can inquire of the Lord, but I hate him.
You hear that?
Because he never
Continue. But I hate him because?
But I hate him because he never prophesies anything good about me.
Do you hear that?
Always bad.
You hear that? Yes, Jehoshaphat, my son-in-law, you are right. There is a man from God in this city. There is a real prophet here, we know. But you see, the reason why I keep the prophets of Baal is that they always prophesy good things about me. Even if I'm wrong, they know how to make it look good. They know how to color me good instead of color me bad. You know? La 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 la. He said, no. They know how to color me good, not color me bad. La 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 la. Yeah. Things like that. He said they know how to sing it good for me. They know how to manipulate for me. They know how to do the propaganda for me. They are my news people. They are good for me. That's why I keep them. But I know that there is the real one. There is the real one that actually hears from heaven. But I don't like that one. You know why? Because he doesn't like me. If he liked me, he would be prophesying good things concerning me. he will be telling me what heaven is saying about me. And I don't like what heaven is saying about me. He never says any good thing about me, never prophesy anything good about me. And that was a lie from hell, because God will never set you up as a prophet to always prophesy bad things. No. That's bad. Sometimes God will come to congratulate you. Like he congratulated Asa yesterday in the reading. See, because the king was doing bad things. That's why bad prophecy from heaven itself was coming against him. While to keep the culture the same and keep the circle going, to keep the spider's web intact, Baal was profiting. So, you want good thing to be prophesied about you, Baal will do it for you. And a lot of leaders love the prophets of Baal. You kill somebody, they will tell you, well, it was the right thing to do. It was their mistake. Well, they are the one who started it. Well, why were they not born white? Why were they born black? Well, if it is an African descendant controlled nation, they'll say, what is someone of European descendant looking for here? Why are you here? It's their fault. See, that's what they do. He doesn't like me. He doesn't prophesy any good thing about me. Why? People don't want to hear the truth. The truth is too hard for them. They will rather die and go to hell believing a lie, living a lie. Living. Alive in a lie. It makes them feel better. Lying to people makes them feel better, because many people on earth cannot stand the truth. And that is why a lot of leaders of different countries, they love praise singers. And you know something about the country in which I was born. A lot of Arab countries, a lot of Middle Eastern countries, African countries, Caribbean, Asia. A lot of these countries, they love praise singers. They love somebody that sings their praise. Even if everything they are doing is 100% banza, rubbish. They love somebody who can tell them that they are good. They are doing the right thing. Everything is fine. They are the best. Even if they are all thieves and murderers. You see, good person. Whereas the person might be, might not be. Let's see what happens now that he talks about this person. Now let's hear who is this person that is coming into this picture.
He is Micaiah, son of Imlah. The king should not say that, Jehoshaphat replied.
Jehoshaphat said to the king, don't say this thing against that man. Don't say this about that prophet. That's not fair. The king shouldn't say that. He said, okay. You have to send for him. This is serious. Life is serious business. You need God on your side. You need my kind of God for the kind of thing that you want to go and do. You can't just go there naked. Many of you do not know that many prophecies you got are what we call naked prophecies. Write that down. Write it down, it's a powerful key. And let me say to you, listening and accepting naked prophecies will make you naked empty, betrayed, and open for attacks and death. And open for attacks and death. Also, I want you to put the disappointment. Put disappointment in between anywhere there. Anybody who was reading it should repeat it. Anybody who was writing it down, repeat it. Let Ozo hear it. Ozo say he want to hear it. Somebody who has written it correctly, whether it be Samantha or Vivian, read it. Thank you very much.
Listening and accepting naked prophecies will make you naked, empty, betrayed, and open for attacks, disappointment, and doom.
There you go. And what did you say, doom?
For attacks, disappointment, and death.
And death, dying. Thank you. Naked prophecy is a dangerous thing. And that's what people go to find in the zodiac, in astrology, in all practices of logics and the occult. Logics and the occult. In a lot of magic churches. I call them magic churches. And Jehoshaphat rebuked him gently and said, let not the king say so. See, Jehoshaphat has so much street smartness and wisdom. The way he even talked to his in-laws was so good. No quarreling with them. And he was still passing the thing on. Let not the king say so. You are a king, come on. Let's see what happened. Go ahead.
So the king of Israel called one of his officials and said, bring Micaiah, son of Imeri, at once. Dressed in their royal robes, the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, were sitting on their thrones at the threshing floor by the entrance to the gate of Samaria.
You hear that? Remember yesterday we talked about it. Everything was decided at the gate. So now they are sitting on a throne by the gate, dressed in their royal, in their kingly apparel. Why? Because they are really going to hear from the Lord. And they know that that's serious business.
Wow.
So they sent for Micaiah. Immediately they sent for Micaiah. Ahab sent for Micaiah. He knew that he's going to hear from the living God. So they were ready. But all this time that the prophets of Baal were prophesying, they didn't dress in their robe. They were not ready for the real thing. So now they know that when you send for this man from God, you better be ready for heaven. And that is why a lot of people like me, many don't, because when they come to me, they are coming to hear what heaven is saying. I told you guys a week ago that the evangelicals, the Pentecostals, and the traditional church folks are tired in America. And they have moved on. I told all of you, they are tired, they moved on. Yesterday when I saw the bishop of an evangelical traditional church, and an archbishop of the most traditional of the churches, the Roman Catholics, all of them angry, I knew that what God told me is true. Read, let's hear what Micaiah came to say.
Okay.
Listen carefully, those of you who like prophecy. We are now entering into what the Spirit of God does. Remember, we are celebrating the feast of the Holy Spirit. What the Spirit of God does. Why this is happening was because someone with the Holy Spirit was in this picture. Jehoshaphat was consecrated with the Holy Ghost. That's why he is looking for someone with the Holy Spirit. Ahab and Jezebel didn't have the Holy Ghost. The church in Samaria didn't have it. All the prophets in Samaria were not prophets of God. None of them had the Holy Ghost. But only one man had it in Samaria. Jehoshaphat has it from Judah. Let's see what happened. Continue.
Yes, they were all seated on their thrones at the threshing floor by the entrance to the gate of Samaria, with all the prophets prophesying before them. Now Zedekiah, son of...
Do you hear that? All the prophets are prophesying in front of the king. The show is on. The show is on. The Lord has chosen you. You won the election because the Lord chose you. You are God's chosen. You are a senator because God chose you. Nancy Pelosi, it's because you are from California that because God said that this is the reign of women, that's why you are leader of the house. Mitch McConnell, because you drink a lot of that Kentucky stuff, that's why you talk like a crazy old fool.
That woke me up.
Yep. And they're all prophesying to them. Yeah. They're prophesying to them. Yeah. Whew. Chancellor Angela Marcos of Germany, that looks like an old witch from one of the most ancient nursery rhymes. Looking like an owl. She's standing there. Like she doesn't even have no emotion, nothing. She's just there standing there like a statue. And she's gone. She's gone. And I'm just looking. The Lord has chosen you to lead the German people. Of course, she's done a great job. It's a woman to be able to lead Germany at this time. Great job. Also, the lady that is leading Norway. Great job. To all of the leaders of the world who are women. From Barbados. Even though the one of Barbados, she scared me when I saw her. I thought she was a man. I was so scared. Yeah, I have to look at her carefully. I said, well, I said, she fits all these men. Yeah, I said, she fits all these men. Because she talks like a man, she acts like a man, and she's a woman. So which man is going to stand before that kind of a human being to go and talk nonsense? She will put you where you belong. In fact, when you even look at her, the way she looks, you will run. I look at her and say, who is this? How was she born to be like this? Who is she? Then I realized this is a woman. I said, Jesus, I made the sign of the fish on my forehead. Make sure that the fisherman will. I said, woo. I said, this is what the men need. Yeah. Show me one president or king or prime minister of any nation that can stand before that kind of a woman. To harass, embarrass, or talk trash? No, none of them. They know when the real thing shows up. They know it. They know it. Men know it. And they back off. They don't want to quarrel with such a person. You don't go there. Look at very few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people only might have died in all of Barbados. She knows her game. She knows her game.
Yeah.
Those are what we call leaders.
Bloodline.
Yeah, that's a real leader. Go and look her up. She will terrify you the first time you look at her. Like when people call me and I just go, yes, who are you? This is Idika Imeri. And if you don't get your act right and you know exactly what you want to tell me, I'll scare you, you'll run. You better get your act together. Keep reading. Let's hear what happened. See, all the prophets of Ben are prophesying to them. Yeah, it was the Lord who has blessed you. The Lord sets you up. The Lord is with you. Woo-wee! They are shaking all over the place. They are shaking some spirit. You know? Woo! Putting whammy. Putting wicked whammy on everybody. Shaking like they are suffering from shakilaity. Woo! Is the Lord. Hey. Shaka la 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 la. Mento, pum. Yeah! Like bunch of crazy demons. Two men were fighting in Africa. They belong to, I think, ABB. There's some construction company that are owned by the Jewish people. So they have a big construction work going on where I was born. And you know, a lot of the Jewish engineers were there working with some hired African people. They were constructing roads, libraries, building schools, all kind of stuff. So two of the people from Africa were fighting. So they went and separated after they've put so much injuries on each other. So they went and told the Jewish engineer that these two rascals are fighting. And so he came to the scene where they've separated them and they were still trying to fight. When he arrived, he looked at two of them. The engineer looked at two of them, the Jewish man, because he cannot really speak English. He looked at two of them and sized them up, and he walked away without saying anything. Then the other engineers are like, why didn't you say something to them? The Jewish man looked at them and said, two of them, no kerosene for head. No two of them, no kerosene. You know the kerosene that we use? The kerosene we use to put fire to do up. He said, two of them, no kerosene for head. That they don't have kerosene in their head. There's no gas in their head. You can even strike the match. There is no gas. Say two of them, no gas in their head, no kerosene, no petrol in their head, no kerosene in head. That's why he walks away. You just look at two of them and he walks away. They say, why don't you say something? He turned around and he said to the rest of the engineers, two of them, no kerosene for head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no gas in their head. They can't think right. Bunch of knuckleheads fighting over nothing. Keep reading. Let's hear what happened. This is so good tonight.
Now, Zedekiah, son of Kenana, had made iron horns, and he declared, this is what the Lord says.
Was it the Lord that is saying? Remember that up till this time, none of these 400 prophets of Baal has gone to go and seek counsel of the real God of Israel. None. They are prophesying by their mind. They are prophesying by prophets. Zedekiah is now saying something. Let's hear what he says. Let's hear what he's prophesying. He declared.
He declared, this is what the Lord says. With these you will gore the Arameans until they are destroyed.
What was it that he was using? What did he make? Read that place again. The horn.
He said, "This is what the Lord says."
No. Let's begin again from Zedekiah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now Zedekiah, son of Kenana,
Mm-hmm.
had made iron horn.
Iron horn. He has made iron horn. Not even a ram's horn that is used to anoint people for them to have ram's strength. The strength of a ram. This one is iron, which stands for Baal.
Yes.
Baal. Culture. And this is what he said. What did Zedekiah say with the horn that he has made? He brandished it. He brandished it before Jehoshaphat and before Ahab and before all the people. And what did he say?
He said, "This is what the Lord says.
Mm-hmm.
With these you will gore the Arameans until they are destroyed."
With this horn you will gore them like the cow or like the goat, like the rams. They will bark with their horn. Gum. Those are killer stuff. Say you will gore them. You will kill them. You will put dent on them. You will curse them so much hurt. You will win the Arameans, and you will win. You will conquer them. Keep reading.
All the other prophets were prophesying the same thing.
Did you hear that? All the other prophets were prophesying the same thing. So it's like Zedekiah was their leader, the leader of the false prophets. So who is the leader of the false prophets in America? From Virginia to Texas, to Louisiana, to Atlanta, to Dallas, to Baton Rouge, Mississippi. You can name them. They are all over America, all over Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, South Africa. I know where they are. They're all over the place. They're all prophesying the same thing. I know the televisions which they go to. They're all prophesying the same thing. They all fall in line, doing the same old business of Baal. And Baal loves them. Read the next thing that we hear here.
Attack Ramoth Gilead and be victorious.
Attack. Go at once and attack Ramoth Gilead and be victorious. Go ahead.
For the Lord will give it into the king's hand.
For the Lord will give it into the king's hand. It must be a prophecy that must be given to suit a situation, to calm a situation, to make the hearer feels good. No correction, no morality, no character. Do whatever you want. The Lord will support you. Lie, lies, lies. But God wasn't consulted. God was not needed by them. They hate God. They don't need him in their business, in anything they do. Continue, my dear.
The messenger who had gone to summon Micaiah said to him,
Now listen carefully. Somebody has gone from Ahab, the king, to go and bring Micaiah. Let's hear what this person is going to say to Micaiah. Listen to this.
Look, as one man, the other prophets are predicting success for the king.
You see, listen. Listen. Every other prophet are predicting. So that's what they were doing. They were predicting Most of what passes for prophecy is prediction. Say, all these 400 prophets, they are predicting success for the king. And you have to fall in line so that you can have food and money and have things to take care of your family. There's enough money in the government. Fall in line with them and the king will give you everything. What's wrong with you? Why do you want to do it God's way? Why don't you do it your way, or the king's way, or the people's way, in the name of God? What's wrong about that? Is God not just another business? What's wrong with you? Why don't you say what other people are saying? Say something nice about the king. Prophesy, predict success for him so that it will happen. Because what you release is what you're gonna get, which is a lie from hell. If you are releasing the right thing to a wicked person, how will it work? It won't. Continue to read.
Let your word agree with theirs and speak favorably.
You see that? Let your word agree with the rest of the word of these predicting pastors and prophets and bishops and archbishops and evangelists. Let your word be the same like them, like all these teachers and missionaries. You need to be the same like them. Predict something good that is in line with everybody so that everybody are doing the same thing. You don't need to be different. Why are you so stubborn? Continue.
But Micaiah said, as surely as the Lord lives,
there we go.
I can tell him only what my God says.
You hear that? I can tell him only what my God says, as surely as the Lord lives. That is because Micaiah was a prophet. He didn't choose to be one. For example, if you ask me the first two things I would like to do, other than being a priest, either I'm a soldier, retired as a general, to a farm with horses and donkeys and camels, and be a big-time farmer in my retirement and have investments, real estates, or I would have loved to have been a lawyer and end up as a Supreme Court judge of a nation, like the Chief Justice of the nation. Those are my two that I would have chosen, other than being a priest. Micaiah did not choose to be a prophet, but God came and begged him to be one for his sake, and that he will bless him his way. And it takes a lot for some of us to agree to these kind of things. It took me a long time for me to come into agreement with it. Micaiah said, I will only say what God wants me to say. What I heard from him, not what I heard from myself. Not psychology, not sociology, not social events. What do heaven say? Remember, Jehoshaphat said to Ahab, let us seek counsel of the Lord. Now they want the counsel of the Lord. You better be prepared. Let's see what happened. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.